Morning, folks. It is 9:40 a.m. Thursday, August 18th, 2016. I finally got my paperwork out of the way so I can start getting to these packages I'm so late on. Within the next 6 days, I should have it all handled. Hopefully less. When I send you these stones, and I send you a bunch of them, I have little labels I've made and have to make more of to put in there so you know what it is. A lot of folks are. I just remembered I got to get the new rune boxes off to Deanna. Damn it. Oh well. You know, folks, don't ever be concerned about being yourself. You have no idea how cool that really is. Everyone's trying to be perfect. Everyone's trying to... Not everyone, you know what I mean. So many people are wasting so much time frustrating themselves, tightening up their DNA so their immune system and their abilities can't flow right. Just trying to be perfect, or even worse, better than someone else. Being better than yourself, that's cool. Improvement. It's progressing forward to being a better you. But quit trying to be better than someone else. We're all equal. You're racing. It's fun to race and win. If you don't, cool. Just give it what you got. Learn from it. Learn how to make the car faster, track better. Anyway, so these packages, next 5-6 days, I'll get them all out. Haven't forgotten anyone. Deanna helps me with a list. Speaking of Deanna, a lot of folks are calling in from all over the world about, am I source? Can I crank people up? Folks, don't ask Deanna for that. Just go ahead and get a consult. She's not going to tell you. She cannot spend all day answering emails. Folks, they come in from all over the world all day long. There's not enough time. There'd have to be 10 people taking care of the emails. And they'd all have to be really strong family to see this. Really strong family to see this. So you just get a consult with Brigitte or Paul, and they'd be happy to tell you that they're much less expensive than I was. So they can help you out with who you are, what's going on, and things that are coming in your life. To progress forward. Okay, that's my buddy Herky just laying down sleeping. I go at him about 3 or 4 times a day with these new flea zappers. Man, these things are cool. That thing is neat. 2 AA batteries. I put the was it top line? Not top line. Front line on them, and I keep it on them. You have to put it on it every 3 weeks, or the eggs hatch, and then you have more of a problem. It's the Frontline Plus. It's the best they have, but still, there's problems, and fleas get used to it. There's so many wild animals out here because I have feeders out that I have more fleas than normal. In Georgia, you got a ton of fleas. We've had more days this summer over this year over 100 degrees or over than in recorded history, from what I heard from someone that keeps an eye on it. Anyway, whether or not that's exactamundo, I can tell you for a fact there's been a lot of them. It's been hot. Anyway, also, those of you with dogs too, that front line, from time to time, I'll give Herky a bath and literally, kill all the fleas on him, and then wait till he dries. So then put the Frontline Plus on him. But the animal getting the treatment, this stuff, it's a topical and it's supposed to spread along their body with the oil. It takes a while after you bathe the dog for their oil to come back. Okay, so you might want to keep that in mind. Sometimes it's good to wait a couple days afterwards so the oil starts coming back. Otherwise, it stays more in one area. But I got these flea zappers all over the house, so I can just clean them. Anyway, this isn't about fleas, but a lot of us love animals. Most of the people listening to me have a lot of compassion. This is about how your governments are going to be taken out. There's no big, there's no riots, bombs, or any kind of stuff like that, folks, okay? The things that run the planet run your governments, okay? They're going to be taken out. They're going to be literally ripped up out of the planet where they're hiding, where they're living. And then we have an incredibly powerful police force here. They're called the Drock. They'll be overseeing what happens. These Anunnaki are going to be ripped out of the planet. The problematic Anunnaki that control this planet and have for a solid 10 million years, they've at least been a major influence on the ground here. They're going to be ripped up, taken away. So they're having a hard time trying to get away, get out. Some of them were, let out every once in a while, and they were literally eating. The funniest thing in the world. Escaping to their freedom. More like someone's mouth. There's these world leaders I'm talking about, folks, that's not your politicians. These are the people behind the people that have been a root cause for this devastation going on. The Anunnaki here, they run the planet and receive a ton of money. Where does it come from? From you, all of you. When you buy a house and you spend $780,000 for a $200,000 house, it's like, wow. What's with all the interest? You pay the interest all the time, all for the loan, and it's a 30-year loan, 20-year loan. It's like, what the hell? How the frack does that happen? Well, the money goes to England. Samuel Jackson had something to do with that. England still owns part of a lot of the planet, and then you have to pay interest to them when you buy a piece of the land. That's so funny, isn't it? And it belongs to Gaia. It doesn't belong to them. It's Gaia's body. It's amazing how things are so backwards in creation. Anyway, so we have these the Anunnaki that run everything, and then there's the people underneath them. That's what the Anunnaki do with all that money. They don't need money. They have no use for it. How many times have you gone to the grocery store and seen the Anunnaki hanging around the meat department? You know, that the Anunnaki, the problematic Anunnaki here on the planet. Yeah, you can't quite call that a common everyday occurrence. They'll be ripped out, and you'll see them. The Earth is going to shake. They're going to be brought out in the open. There'll be some firefights, and then finally the crap's going to happen. The Drakh are hiding around everywhere. Not hiding in fear, they're just waiting. Waiting for something to happen, waiting for the event, for what's about to occur. The Earth's going to shake, folks. It's going to rattle. It'll be stronger and less destructive than it's ever been. But it's going to tear some stuff up big time in the water. The oceans are going to get a little choppy. It's going to be a few waves. And then after these things get taken out of here, sent off to be dealt with properly, then you'll start meeting some more of the good folks, family that we have out in space. They'll be coming in. Then also the governments down here, when they're not being told what to do, then they're going to be responsible. You're all just going to get rid of them. You know, the real problem children are going to be taken off planet and be dealt with. The other ones will turn around and start doing what's right, or they'll wind up falling away one way or the other. Voted out, dropping dead, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's time for change. Everything's not going to be perfect. It's going to be struggle, but it's changing. It'll never be like it is now. Never again, ever. No planet, no way, no how. When you go into a body, you need strife in order for your spirit, your personal spirit, your sentient energy to develop, to evolve, to get stronger, but not abuse. So anyway, after the Anunnaki are taken out, the things that run your governments play around with stuff. They're going to be dealt with immediately. And most, like I said, 2/3 of them are going to be taken off the planet. They'll just disappear. They'll be gone. No one will hear from them. And they'll pay for what they did. And then, like I said, with the governments, some of there's just going to be change going on in people's brains, their thought processes. The ones who are a real problem will be taken out, literally, one way or the other. And then you can start actually deciding who's going to be in your government and then be able to do the right job. Folks, you can have someone want to be a politician. When you get into the bottom edge, the bottom ranks of it, you know, you've got all kinds of issues. There's so many dark corners in politics. It's disgusting. Abusive, arrogant, controlling people. I know a few of them. Only one personally. It's a shame. Anyway, but there'll start being some good people in government, people that actually know what it's like to work for a living. And the country club atmosphere that surrounds governments today, gone. Bye. See you. You got to wonder sometimes, how does a senator make $135,000 a year and have a $5 million house? Why do they have all these Learjets? I mean, all this crazy stuff. It's almost like you're preachers. God wants me to have a fleet of Learjets. I need a new fleet. I've had this fleet for 7 years now, and it's done God's work, so now it's time for a new fleet. Or at least all new leather upholstery. How disgusting can you get? So anyway, NSA, Homeland Security, see ya. Bye-bye. Y'all have no function whatsoever, other than for control of the masses. Homeland Security is controlling the masses. That's all it exists for. And then the NSA are like the supposed intellectual policing spies and stuff for the Anunnaki in this country, and actually pretty much planet-wide. England has their own little type of NSA. Some of the other major countries do. So they're all just going to fall away, get killed, disappear. The voids will be filled with people who have the right mindset. Folks, you can't do something on this kind of scale physically without physically going in, blowing up, bombing, and taking over a country. It's done on the other side. Remember, they go into everyone's heads and run them. That's the whole idea, the Our Lily thing. Certain things are going to happen. Doesn't matter who doesn't like it. The difference is they don't want anything for themselves. And they're tired of this shit. Yeah, I guess I'm getting a little aggressive with the lingo, but I remember what it's like since the first life I ever had, Lily and Ara. As a strong part of Ara back then. What I am inside, not Jay. What I really am. All these lives, abuse. Governments thrive on it. Scare tactics. Gee, United States never done that. See the Anunnaki that run the planet? Not Anunnaki themselves, folks. They're cool as hell. The ones running our planet and have been for their families for a little over 10 million years. They're trash. They're abusive. They use the money they take from us to pay other people, humans, a lot of money to do their bidding. And it's like, here, take this money or we will kill you and your family and everyone you know, but we're going to kill them in front of you. And they do. Sometimes they might grab a hold of your wife and just eat her arm right in front of you. How's that? Pretty cool, huh? They're going. It doesn't take but a couple examples like that, and the people that they deal with, the humans, that word gets spread around real fast. People have no idea what's going on this planet. It's been so important for me to wake up as many of you as possible, where you can start seeing and feeling things more and more, and then when it does happen and they are brought out and you hear about it, you can go in your head and look then, if not earlier, and see, damn, that's all true, it's all happening. Of course, when you see large groups of Anunnaki being let off, so to speak, in chains, yeah. That's taking the trash out. The Drakh were the first race. They were the strongest. They still are. And the Antids are right behind them. I went out this morning to take Herky out earlier this morning. Herc and I got up late. It's funny how we get slammed together. at the same day. I saw the chemtrails. Not all of them, but there's like 3 of them. But I just stared at them. I was seeing crap inside them, and then from there, I just my mind just went right to what's going on, who's saying what, who's doing what. They're still testing to see if the Drakh are around. So, the Anunnaki here on this planet that are running it, they're arrogant. They got issues. They've been playing God on this planet for millions of years. Millions. They know nothing else other than they are totally supreme. That's their mindset. Well, they're being taken out, and then it's just going to go downhill. Some people are just going to disappear, folks. When this gets started, they'll get beamed off the ship. The Antids have a way, an incredibly powerful form of moving people from one end to the other, beaming people in and out. They have a disruptor field that goes around their beaming technology, where they actually take the person, put them inside an energy field. They build an energy field around them, and then you go subdimensional and move them out. When they do that, there's an actual channel that it goes through, and it just disrupts anything that tries to go in and out of it. So if something tries to grab or hurt something that's in there, excuse me, something that's in there, it can't. It also shields the person being beamed, or articles, whatever, but we're concerned more with the people, with the living organisms. It'll shield it from any kind of radiation or anything else that's out there. The Drakh have the same thing, but it's a literally destructive barrier instead. So if something tries to get in there, it won't. It will literally, it's not a wall of particle beams, but it might as well be. It's actually much more effective than that. So the Drakh, if they want to take something that the Anunnaki on this planet have hidden, they'll literally beam right in there and start taking weapons and stuff out. So you'll have your show, but it's not an act. It's time for the trash to get taken out. That's all anyone's known, folks. This has been going on for, it started 10 million years ago. I'm 61, and you know what? I'm pretty beat up. 10 million is a long time. That's how many 100 years? How many centuries? Hello. And they live a long time. They don't live like that, though. They can go 1,000 years, but that's a lot. Per lifetime. The Drakh. The Antids. Damn it. The Anunnaki. The same could be said of the other ones, but I was trying to say Anunnaki. So anyway, folks, that's how it's going to change. Not by people shooting missiles or bombs or riots. All that does is create an excuse for them to get physical with you. They have something of a concern for the attitude of the physical masses. But they literally, in the end, they don't care. But like with the chemtrails, they're poisoning us. They're trying to stop the other races from beaming stuff in and out, or going down into their central storage facilities. They're not cities, they're facilities. They have storage, research, and all kinds of stuff going on over there. And it's possible to go in there and beam stuff out. I put it in the bedroom already. My crystal from Atlantis, it's got part of my energy in it. When I was a red atom, it got beamed out of here for a little while. That pissed me off, but the Drock were playing with it, and it got beamed back over here. So they wanted to understand what was going on with it. The pit, that initial pit on Atlantis that the red atom made, that was incredibly powerful. They started overusing it, and it was literally Ara dismantled it. What I am inside, that part of Ara, tore it apart, did something with it, and that doesn't need to be said. It's in the water. It's in the water, spread out all over the place. So anyway, the crystal itself, I think you've all seen it. Oh, anyway, look. Let me go get it right back. Okay, back. This is the crystal. This was in a store being sold as a lightning bolt having hit it. That's not what happened. I went by this thing, and as I saw some nice crystals in the cabinet, I just kept walking by it. This is like 7 years ago, and well, 2009, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I heard a very strong, aggressive "hey," and it was so aggressive, and it was familiar. I turned around real fast, like, pissed, ready to get in someone's face. It was part of the red atom energy, part of me inside it. I turned around, there was no one there, and then all of a sudden I looked right at the crystal, and then it was talking to me. It's hard to understand. Telepathy, when two people look at each other and just stare for a second, you can do the same thing with telepathy. You're both aware of each other and you look at each other, but no one's communicating, but you're aware. And then it started talking to me. When I finally bought it, I believe it was December last year, 2015, I picked it up and it felt a little funny, almost like shy. And I was so surprised because, it was so strong, so aggressive. And before. And then after I purchased it and was driving off, I was holding it and just saying, "What's up?" He said, "You're stronger now." Well, yeah, I hadn't seen it in 7 years. It got strong as hell. But anyway, the reason why I brought this thing up, in a crystal pit, there's pieces that go like this. Okay, they're flat on the outer end, but they're beveled. Okay, and there's a whole pan of it like that. Okay, a funnel shaped thing, but they are flat on the inside. Then there's pieces that go like this. So you have it, here's the bottom edge, and then here's the upper edge, and then right here in the middle is where these things were. They came out like this, it was like this, and then like this. And then actually they were pointed up about like that, and some up a little more down. Excuse me. These particular crystals balance the flow from the upper crystal to the lower crystals. Okay, the crystal pits in Atlantis, where that funnel was, it would go to a very sharp point where there was a hole that literally was drilled straight down into the magma of the planet. Okay, so it would literally pull up energy from inside the planet. That was a long time ago. And then it's like some kind of nuclear energy or something. Put this puppy over here. So anyway, then there was another crystal at the top, and literally the sunlight would come in, and then for the thermonuclear material, energy, whatever, and then the stuff, the aerial nuclear space, whatever, from the solar nuclear energy would come in, and then they go into the crystal base, and then those crystals, they balanced the flow of energy. Okay, they were made to balance the energy. They were made to be the an equalizer of pressure, of energy. And there was a fight. There was I saw the whole thing when I was holding it. He showed me. That's weird. It's an older part of myself. That's the weird thing about being big energy. Other parts you break off, they kind of have their own little individual self and everything. That we can do this as energy. You might want to check out a really cool guy, Stephen D. Farmer, shaman. He has a thing where he goes through what they call soul retrieval. That's about pulling back another part of your energy that's just kind of freaked out and moved on. All of you are very big now, okay? There is a problem with getting too big, and we're not going to deal with that now. Anyway, so there were a bunch of Adamics fighting, about 1,000 on one side, 1,000 on the other. It was a war. It was red Adamics. Those of light, those of positive, those of negative frequencies was the basic concept behind it. When Edgar Casey talked about Atlantis, he had a lot of stuff really right. That was actually his primary spirit guide, which was a strong piece of essence that would talk through him. But when Edgar Casey is was an awesome man, he's awesome soul. But when he had to go through a certain procedure to relax himself, and it slurred his speech. It was hard for him to talk through that. Okay, so all the stuff that Edgar Casey did for doctors and everything, and people to help the doctors help the people with diseases and medicine and stuff. I mean, he cured so many people. It's crazy. Okay, he's an awesome person. He did incredible things. But anyway, he said he talked about in Atlantis they had two different factions. They had the children of the law of one, which means they believed in one God, and then they had the children of Belial, Belial. He meant to say denial. He was trying to say denial, the children of denial, denying that there's one God. Okay? That's, little stuff like that. As a matter of fact, at one point, he was talking about, he was trying to say Aramalius, and what came out of his mouth was Amelius. So, sorry, getting work done, hammered. So when this war was going on between the children of the law of one and the supposed, that supposed name, and then the children of denial, they were fighting over who was going to get control of the pit. Well, I was as a red atom, but I am inside. I was up near the pit, maybe 50 foot away, and that pit was putting out some energy. Okay, it was cranked up, running ships and stuff all over the place, in the water, in the sky, all over the place. It was near the top of a hill, almost at the very top of it. There wasn't much else in the way, and it needed to, because the energy went out like this, but it was really strong energy, so it didn't have any problem going through soft dirt. Okay, anyway, so as that fighting was going on and the pit was already putting out a lot of energy, all that metaphysical energy, remember, crystal energy, what drives so many of these starships, it's metaphysical, folks. Hello. I said the law of physics are going to change. They're about to, because it's going to be the law of a different reality, which is physics and metaphysics. With all those Adamics, 12-strand DNA, and very powerful themselves, all that action going on, that started firing up the pit even more. And then both halves, the upper half that's like this, that was getting the light from the sun, the other one getting the energy from the earth where it was situated, literally started building up all kinds of power. And then when it happened, all these little crystals that were in the middle, the balance of power, to balance the energy, vibrated, and that's where it exploded. This thing landed about less than 4 feet, about 3.5 feet from me. I took one step and I reached in and picked it out. The Red Adamic race, we were about 5 foot tall. We had, we were solid, just massive. Everything we had was at least 3 times as big as what it is now. Okay, we're just muscles, like little hulks, big eye teeth, but that's where it exploded. That's why they said they thought it was hit by lightning. No, it exploded right out and then poof, landed right next to me. So I grabbed it, held onto it, said, put it down, and then shortly after that, the battle stopped. So the pit was putting out a weird frequency. So anyway, some of the Drog folk thought that there was something they could use it. There was information there that would help them in moving their equipment. And they found out, no, it's for balancing. But I got pissed it disappeared. Especially when I saw it, and then I said something, and 24 hours later, it's back. So, anyway. Folks, there's so much stuff going on that you don't see. Just because you don't see something doesn't mean it's not real. You know how much murder is going on this planet right now, and I guess because you can't see it, it's not real. A tree falling in a forest, you don't see it, so it can't be real. It never fell, but for some reason you go there, it's on the ground. Mind like parachute, function better when open. Folks, there's things that have been polluting, abusing the hell out of you all your lives. There's something stronger now that is selfless that's going to start fixing this crap. It's time. You have to have strife, but not this is crazy. Creation is set up through insanity. The incredible desire to abuse everything to its max, yet still force it to stay within the body to take more abuse to make it bigger. They're dead, they're gone. Big change is coming. It's coming very soon, but it's going to be controlled by the other side. And then you're going to have some awesome, awesome people in different kinds of bodies here to help. It's time for the abusers to receive what they give, or just be deleted. Either way, they're leaving. There'll be people, as soon as I go, there'll be people saying, well, it's been 5 minutes and it ain't fixed yet. Jay's full of crap. Folks, make up your own decisions. Don't worry about what other people say, but remember this. It ain't going to happen overnight. Change has already started. As soon as air gets put together, which will be real quick, minutes, then big change is going to start happening. I know some change is going to happen on the way out of the body. Stuff being killed on the other side. The rest of the stuff that's an issue is going to be destroyed immediately. If what runs lives does not agree with the new format, the new foundation for operations of bodies, of spirit and bodies in the third dimension, if any of them have the idea they need to push things too hard, which there's still some that do, they will be deleted immediately. If they still feel that way with everything that's happened over there, they're not going to change, they'll be deleted. That's how creation changes. Folks, it's just going to happen. Thank you. It's just going to happen. Okay? There's nobody to thank. There's no praise or any of that stupid crap. When you praise something, you're giving up your rights of equality. And you might do it in your own mind, but it's not allowed to happen. It's not allowed. Everything is equal, whether it wants to think it is or not. So, it'll be interesting. It'll be nice, but it's going to be interesting first. And folks, there is going to be some damage and stuff done. That can't be helped. The animals will be leaving. Bringing the animals home is imperative. Freeing all the prisoners is also imperative. Animals first, and then while it's going on, the earth will be shook and the prisoners will be let loose. There will be a few deaths. There's going to be some firefights. It's going to be seen on cell phones. It's going to be seen on cameras. It's going to be seen all over the web. The same thing from many different people. You know what that means? That it's not just a hoax. When the same thing is being filmed from similar and different angles, you can compare them and find out, okay, this ain't TV. This is not some kind of movie production. So, and then after that settles down and they start getting removed, you'll be seeing ships come in. Large ships coming in, hovering over the water, pulling people out. There'll be pictures of it, and then you'll see it take off. So, and then you start meeting them in person. 2018, 2019, that should be starting to happen. Folks, it's hard to give you dates when I don't know how things are going to happen until I get out of here. But it's overdue for this to happen. Lily and Ara are incredibly anxious to get this done. And the abuse system on this planet will be destroyed, dismantled. And the abusers will pay the price for their abuse. And it's not just this planet. It's every single planet. It's everything everywhere. It's on the other side in the second dimension. This is a creation-wide deal. That's what makes your lives better. And this, like I said, there's no one to thank or nothing. There's enjoy. Start having a life that is about you being who you are, not what you're down here being forced to be. There's no such thing as a perfect utopia or paradise, perfect paradise. But when you've had such horrible lives, and then you go to having a good life, that's a form of paradise. It's like when we work our butts off and do everything all day long, working 15-hour days and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden you take off and you go out to the Bahamas or something, a tropical place, and relax. That's paradise, at least at the moment. So anyway, that's how your governments and everything get taken down. It starts on the other side. It's going to be controlled. It's going to be run. There's going to be idiots doing things that they're like, why'd I do that? I'm talking about, when I say idiot, I'm talking about people high up in the command structure in this planet. They'll just be made to do something stupid. Huh. Something coming. Anyway, then y'all will put better people in office. Strife, yes. Abuse, no. Well, folks, I need to leave that there. I've got to get I'm late getting the morning started. I'm going to be back in an hour or two, and I'm going to go crank up. I'm going to go crank a few people up. Well, I still can embody. Someone I should have gone to a lot earlier is David Icke. I feel wrong that I didn't. I should have. But at least I'm getting it done now. I've had a lot to do, folks, trying to get everything set up so y'all will have what you need to wake up. You need to know what's going on out there. I'm not like excuse me, I'm not like a lot of other people. I talk about spirit, sentient energy. I talk about auras. I talk about premonition. I talk about all the different areas of the body and the brain and everything else, and how they work and what they produce, what they put out. But I also talk about folks on other ships and stuff like that floating around, stuff happening. Why? Because I see all of it. But this is important to me, that you understand that the more you increase your abilities, the more you can do this yourself. I'm no better than nothing else, man. I'm strong as crap, but I'm no better than nothing. I want you to know you can do this. It's like I can't hardly even look at you. I feel sad that you're not doing it. I make a point of not staring at the camera, because when I do, I put my energy in there and it goes right into you. There's no need for that. When a lot of your quote unquote psychics readers, what they are really is metaphysical practitioners. They always look to the side. That's because they're focusing on what they're trying to see, not trying to go inside you. The eyes are the window to the spirit inside. They used to say window to the soul. So there's so many reasons I want all of you just to become you. Why shouldn't you be? I'm not demanding it. I'm not forcing it. Although the field everywhere, the field is part of me. You don't like it, sorry, don't care. Don't care at all. It's changing everyone's DNA. It has been for years. And it's about to change a lot harder. It's going to be changing somewhere. This is up in the air again. 1.5 to 2.25 times more faster, more change, and evolving more of a change and doing it faster. That's why there's a difference in the amounts, percentages, the rates of increase. And I don't even want to try to look at what's what. That's enough. It's time for everyone to wake up. Scientists have actually stated people's DNA, some of them are changing. We don't understand what the hell's going on. We've seen DNA in some people, we don't even know what the hell it is anymore. It's called radiant strand. The few cases of that they've seen is source energy that's getting changed, and it's not just for source, it's for everybody. It's just, source is just stronger, that's all. Folks, why do you think people come here from other planets and want our DNA? What's up with that? Why are there so many abductions coming here? These people are more intellectual than we are, okay? So our brain shouldn't have much to give them. Fine, there's some races that actually eat us. Not many. So what is it, though? They want to learn how a more primitive, less developed brain works? No. It's our DNA, folks. A little over 11 million years ago, there's been souls coming here making bodies that were part human and part animal or plant or something or other. It's like 50-50. One half had to be human, the other half was other stuff. That produced some rather interesting things. Your minotaurs, centaurs, the rest of them, that's what they are. Now, there's especially the Andromedian, about one point when the Essenite came here, they've been here before, then have been here after. They came here to study the flora, the plant life. It was incredibly rich. Then they started finding out we have two very important metals here that are used for many different things, and the actual frequencies for this material come from source and only source. It's gold and silver. That brought more people, but it was like about a little over 1.4 billion years ago. The Andromedian came down here, and then they would just, it was a rare time. They just come here, explore, and then leave. They weren't the only ones, but there weren't a lot of people. Then about 11 million years ago, they started getting a lot more countries, more planets were becoming increasingly interested in the Earth. Book number 2, Creation, Its Journey, Evolving into Paradise. Lemuria is where the different planets started settling right away. You know, I wrote this book. It's so funny. I can't remember anything is in it. Section 2. I had to do it in sections and then chapters and stuff. Section 2. The Earth is born. about the Earth actually forming, the plants and other creatures settling in. Creatures, reptiles, they only have the energy, regular reptiles, not the reptilian humanoids, they only have the energy from the planet. They don't have spirit, sentient spirit inside other than the Gaia's essence. Let's see, animal essence colonizes the Earth, and then there's Lemuria, and then Atlantis. The rogue souls coming in, folks. This thing about Lemuria, it tells about the different ages. When Lemuria was settled, the different planets, some of the stuff was coming from. Andromedians, Pleiadians. There were a lot of folks coming in. Lemuria was a large bunch of islands, okay, in the Pacific Ocean, and very beautiful land, well developed. It went all the way from I can't even get it in my head. It was in the Pacific as high as getting close to Northern California, but way out in the ocean, way out in the Pacific. But I mean, that kind of latitude, altitude. I mean, whatever. Wow, my head's having issues. But anyway, and then that was the northern end. The southern tip was and still is New Zealand. The capital of Lemuria was, and actually still is, Hawaii. This tiger's eye that I have, I got a ton of it. It's golden tiger's eye, but it came from Lemuria's capital, Hawaii. Folks, this stuff is beautiful. This energy is incredible. Deanna, Paul, Bershu, they all have it. I'm sending a ton of it out to Lexi, to Ann, out in the western U.S. So, and then there's going to be some with Siobhan, Lily's fourth focal point. She's really cool. She's out in Ireland, Scotland, Ireland. She's going to be cranking people up real soon. As long as they engage themselves to do it, they'll do it. Anyway, so that was Lemuria. That was, ships coming in, but from all over the place, colonizing the Earth. So they most of them were mining facilities, but they also wanted to adapt to the planet because they realized that there was a ton of gold and silver and other stuff on this planet they wanted to have. The problem was the reptiles kept coming in and overgrowing, and forming large herds, and they literally just run over settlements. So and the Earth was cleaned twice by fire, then by ice, then by water. And the axis was, the Earth was supposed to tilt on its axis again, right a bit before the sixth age. We went right from the sixth age. So, and fifth is movement, 5 is movement, and 6th age is intuition. And that's where we are, the age of intuition, where people start waking up their abilities. So, anyway, folks, that's a lot about how the change is going to happen. Everyone loves to have exact dates and everything, folks. The future's always fluid, and it needs to be if it's going to, keep going and consider you as a part of it. That it needs to change to give you a better situation for yourself. To improve, we have to make changes. We learn as we do things. So the future has to change if it's going to be worth a damn. And it is. But what's going to be doing it is what wants to take care of it. It's like growing a plant. You give it love, you care. You know, you don't make demands on a plant. You just take care of it. Why? Because you want to. That's all. It's a natural thing. You love to see it grow because you care about it. It's simple. Simple as an old man in overalls. So, I used to be a bit of a farmer. I think that's pretty funny. I wish I had more time to do more things, but I should say it would be nice. I don't care for I wish. I don't much believe in that. You want something, you go do it. You do the best you can. You get what you can. There's so much stuff I wanted to do that I never got done. But I did everything I could. And I helped a lot of beings, a lot of people, animals, people, plants. And I did it because I wanted to. No other reason. For me, personally, that's, if I had to put a title on that, you know, a name to it, I called it success. Having a successful life. So many people think success is when you've done the perfect job. There's no such thing as perfect. Completing a task, like in different stages, awesome. Yeah, and y'all are so cool, you have no idea. Oh, but anyway, I know I jump around a lot. When I was talking about the DNA, why people from other planets, why they're so interested in our DNA, the Adamic race was started on Atlantis, not Lemuria. Lemuria, at first, was all about the other planets colonizing. Each of them would take one of the big islands of Lemuria and colonize on it. And then from there they go in small ships and go to different parts of the planet, do mining, and come back. Lemuria islands weren't too bad about being overrun with reptiles. It could be handled there, but the mining stuff, where they did the mining, that was totally different. So, with all these different planets coming here with all different types of DNA, the Adamic race was made 10.572 million years ago is when the red Adam came here first, and the red Eve. The red Eve was white tiger lily. Okay, she's totally healed up. She's not in the body whatsoever. She's healing up right now. She's in the process of it. And then our first focal point, primary focal point, that's what's inside this body. A piece of it, what little piece could get shoved in it. That's what's waiting to get out. That was the red Adam that built the pit and everything else. And then once the Adamic race, the Adamic race had to be made because there were others still here at that point making half and half bodies, half human and then half animal or half plant, but it pretty much gone to half human and half animal. And that's not allowed. So the Adamics were sent here to provide a body for Gaia to have a basic civilization grow. The quote-unquote human race. So we came here, we made the bodies. The Adamics were incredibly powerful, very strong. We could do all kinds of things through our bodies. The first Adamics that came here, we were telekinetic, incredibly powerful. We made our own bodies. So we made them to suit us. They were not made for us, that we got pushed into. So we gave one hell of a showing. Incredibly powerful. Next thing you knew, we became very popular, especially with the reptilians. So there was some forced interbreeding and stuff that would happen eventually. It was more of a general thing. So that's why the human race has all kinds of DNA in there. There were a lot of Fae that had made solid bodies that were staying in them a long time. You know, the Fae bodies themselves actually were a little different back then. They were still energy. They can go in and out, but they were thicker than what they are now. So by not going in and out of thick bodies, their energy bodies have actually gotten a little thinner. But they're going to turn around and start changing that when they start coming out more. That's maybe 2080 something. Anyway, there's people that have Fae DNA inside their human DNA. There's Palladian, Andromedian. Look at Greg Braden. He's loaded with Andromedian DNA. Many people have Palladian DNA in them. Cool. We all have reptilian. I've told you before that the Anunnaki homeworld is inside the Palladian galaxy. So they're actually Palladians. So that's why they're so interested in coming here all the time. Our DNA, because on this planet the earthen, quote unquote earthen bodies have DNA that is like a Heinz ketchup, 57 varieties. There's so many different things in us. Our DNA has learned over the past 11 million years how to adapt to almost anything. We're one of the top 4, maybe, well, within the top 5, maybe the top 4 planets that have bodies with of the most adaptable DNA. Whatever, we're one of the top 4. So actually the 4th. So that's why they come here. That's why they need our DNA, so Poe and help the race go on. Yeah, there's this super soldier program. I mean, that's stuff that's been going on forever. It's bonding the different DNAs, and the Anunnaki are extremely good at it. So, and that's coming to a halt. My labs, military abductions, all that's going to get shut down. That's going to be punishable by death. Not just the people that actually grab the other people, but by the people behind it. Someone orchestrates it. It happens. They will be found. They will be killed. Next. How do you get rid of cancer, people? You cut it out of the body. Burn it up. Sounds extreme? What do you call the butchering that's been going on this planet forever? Well, things are changing, and that's a lot about how it's going to happen, folks. I just wanted you to know a little bit about it, so you can take the time to see how you feel about it. Hopefully you engage your hearts and everything else, and when it starts to happen, you'll see that it did happen. It doesn't matter who said it. It doesn't matter who said it first. The word very, the word sun, who said it first? Who cares? Doesn't matter. What matters is that there is a sun. There is a language. There's water. Doesn't matter the name. Doesn't matter who said what when. What matters is that it's going to be made right. I see how it all started with the very first being out of loneliness. It's a sad situation. It got vicious, and it's being dealt with, and now it's going to get handled properly. So, this information had to be here now. When you all come home, you'll be able to see most of what I tell you, most of what I've told you for yourself, but not all of it. The original first angels, they had a hierarchy of, It started up here, and then it filtered down to this group, this group, this group, till it got to the large masses of them. If the large mass didn't need to know something, they didn't know diddly squat. Well, folks, without giving you a day-by-day blow of events, you know, it's like, boom, this happened, boom, that happened, boom, that. You can't do that. It's going to be fluid like water, but like a wave, it's coming, and it's going to happen, and it's soon. It's more than just in your lifetime. It's coming very soon. Folks, I love you. Have a good one.